Hi, my name is Larry. I'm a developer here at Slate Canyon. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to convert your polygon-based models to CAD geometry. Before I begin, if you don't have Skintite installed on your computer yet, I recommend you download and install it first. Skintite comes with the models I'm using for this tutorial, so you can follow along and do all of the operations yourself. You can download Skintite from our website at www.skintite.net. It's free to download and try out, so you can do this whole tutorial. You just won't be able to save the results without a license. Let's start by importing the model. Go to the Import menu and choose PLY. Then go to the folder where you installed Skintite, which is probably your C program files folder. Find the Skintite folder. Go to the example models folder and choose crank.ply. To convert this model to CAD geometry, I could just select the whole region and press the Convert to CAD button. However, I'd get very poor results if I did that. The way this feature works is that it takes the selected region and tries to fit a CAD face to it. Since there are no single CAD faces that can match this shape, it'll work on it for a while, then give up, then it'll split the region in half and try again on each half. And it will just keep doing that until it's able to convert the whole model. On some shapes that's useful, but for most models you'll get much better results if you split up the region yourself before you convert it to CAD. To split up the region, go to the Split Regions by Features dialog. There are several different ways you can split up your region. I usually start with the Divide by Sharp Edges option. Since my part is already selected, I can just click on the button, and it finds the sharp edges on the model and makes regions based on those. So now I can pick one of these regions and press the Convert to CAD button. You can see there's now a new region over here on the CAD side that matches the region I converted. Let's take a closer look at this new region. I'll turn off the visibility of all the other regions and zoom in really close. You can see it did a pretty good job of matching the polygonal region, but there are some places along the edge where there's a bit of a gap. You can tell Skintite how closely it needs to match the polygonal geometry by going into the Preferences dialog and going to the Poly to NURBS tab and setting the edge tolerance value. You can put any value you want in here, but there are 3 presets that work well for almost all cases. Loose is for noisy models, like a model you scan in with a 3D scanner. But for a model like this one that came from a CFD mesh, you'd want to use either medium or tight. I'm going to try tight and see if it gives me better results. So I'll delete the CAD face I just created, then I'll convert this polygonal region again. Now if you look around the edges, you can see it's a better fit. Once I'm happy with the region that I've converted, I'll usually delete the polygonal region just to get it out of the way. Now let's go and do the same thing for some of the other faces. These faces look pretty good, so I'll delete the polygonal regions. Then just convert all these planar regions and delete the polygonal versions. So now I'm just left with periodic regions. The Convert to CAD feature can't handle periodic faces, so it'll start splitting them up into smaller pieces until it's able to convert them. You'll get much better results if you split them up yourself. So let's select these 4 cylindrical regions, press the Divide by Cutting Plane button, and position the cutting plane so all 4 regions will be split. Now when I press Cut Regions, the 4 periodic regions are now 8 non-periodic surfaces. So now I can select these regions and convert them to CAD surfaces. Once the periodic regions are taken care of, I'm just left with this one band. This part was originally created with plane and cylindrical sections, so that means I can use the Divide by Surface Curvature function. This works similar to Divide by Sharp Edges, and if there are any sharp edges, it will divide it there. But it also looks for planar sections and separates them from curved sections, so that's perfect for this region. Now I can easily convert these 4 regions into CAD faces. And there you go, the whole model has been converted to CAD faces. So at this point, I could go to the File menu and export it if I have a license. But let me say a word about units. For the most part, Skintite is unitless in that you don't set units anywhere. It just assumes everything is in millimeters. So when I export this as a CAD part, it'll set the units to millimeters. So keep that in mind. If I knew that this crank model I imported was actually written in centimeters, I would need to either scale the polygon based model before I convert it, or scale this CAD model before I export it. Before I end this tutorial, let me show you one more thing that can help you out in some situations. I have a model here that's flat with a shallow groove on it. The groove is shallow enough that when I try to divide it by sharp edges, it doesn't split it. But if I try to convert it the way it is, it does a rather poor job. CAD faces can't have any sharp edges like this on them. So Skintite does the best it can, but if you look at the underlying surface, you can see that's a pretty bad surface. So let me just delete this. So I need to split the lower part of this surface from the flat upper part. I could use pick facets directly and pick all of these facets and create a separate region that way, but it would take a long time to pick all of those facets. Instead, I'm going to go to the Preferences dialog. On the Poly to NURBS tab, it has a dihedral angle value, and what that means is that when you're looking for sharp edges and you're comparing two facets and the angle between their normal vectors is more than 30 degrees, then it's considered a sharp edge. In this case, the angle between the normal vectors is less than 30 degrees. So let's decrease this to, say, 20 degrees. Now when I try it, you can see that it's able to separate the region. So now I'll convert both regions to CAD faces, and you can see I get much better results now. And that's all I have for this tutorial. Let me sum up by saying, to get good results, you need to split up your model into regions that can be converted to a single CAD face. So you need to become comfortable using the Divide Polygonal Regions dialog. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and have a good day.